I'd walked right up and looped my arm through his, claiming him. The way he'd looked down at me then, his eyes crinkling with a smile. After the dance, walking me back to my dorm, he'd asked me to be his girlfriend under a sliver of a moon. 5 years had woven him into the very fabric of my life. Everyone said we were the campus golden couple, destined to walk the same path. We'd already planned it all out. After graduation, we'd stay in this city, get an apartment, adopt a cat. We were going to carefully transplant our student love into the real world and watch it grow. Everything was supposed to run on its designated track, smooth and steady, toward a bright future. But now, I was staring at a cold, digital notification that felt like a punchline to a joke I wasn't in on. The mouse cursor hovered over the withdraw button, separated from it by an invisible chasm. All it would take was one click. One tiny movement, and the turbulence would smooth out, life would return to its familiar orbit, but his voice echoed in my ears, light and dismissive. She was just playing around. Are you really going to make a big deal out of this? It was the straw that broke something deep inside me. A profound, bone-deep weariness washed up from the soles of my feet, drowning everything else. Suddenly, none of it seemed to matter anymore. I didn't even have the strength to lift my finger and click the button that was right there, waiting. A soft tap on the glass of the study room door broke my trance. I looked up, dazed, to see Maya standing there. When she caught my eye, she tapped again, motioning for me to come out. I pushed the door open, a cool draft from the hallway hitting my face. She took a half step toward me, her voice syrupy sweet. Ava, hey, hope I'm not bothering you? She tilted her head, her expression a careful performance of innocence. I was just talking to Liam about me joining the student government, and he seemed a little down. Said he needed to get some air. She paused, watching my reaction, a subtle curve to her lips. Her voice grew even more earnest. So I wanted to ask you, is it okay if I go with him? She said it so directly, her words chosen to sound considerate and respectful, as if she were truly asking for my permission. But the triumphant glint in her eyes, a light she could barely contain, was a tiny needle that punctured the whole facade. For the past 6 months, it had always been like this. She'd wear this mask of innocence in front of me, acting out these little dramas, pretending to hide her intentions while letting her smug satisfaction leak out at the edges. I just stared at her, my gaze sweeping over her perfectly crafted innocent face. I felt a coldness spread through my chest, like I was slowly sinking into an icy lake. Liam. When did he change? Why would he fall for this girl, who was so transparently artificial? At first, Liam had been openly annoyed by Maya's attention. He'd called her clingy and exhausting. That all changed after the inter-university basketball tournament. He'd gone up for a rebound and landed wrong, twisting his ankle. It swelled up instantly. I was out of town at a crucial, intensive training camp for the academic competition. We weren't even allowed to have our phones on most of the time. Later, I heard that Maya, who had been watching from the sidelines, burst into tears on the spot. But she hadn't just stood there crying. With red-rimmed eyes, she had scrambled to follow him to the campus clinic, handling his registration, getting his prescription, clumsily but persistently taking care of everything. Even more surprisingly, for the entire next week, she got up an hour early every single day to meet him at his dorm, letting him lean on her as they slowly made their way to class. At the end of the day, she would do the same thing in reverse, for 7 whole days. After that,